Troy's Confucius Institute brings art to campus.
Plus, students play with their food. Stay tuned. Trojan Vision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network at Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy Trojan Vision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy Trojan Vision News for March 2nd, 2016. I'm Christy Henderson.
And I'm Haley Greathouse. Thank you for joining us this evening. One of the jobs of the Troy Student Government Association is to approve constitutions for new student organizations on campus. But not every group that is proposed is approved, as Ryan Renfro shows us from last night's meeting.
Trojan Proud.
Members of the Troy University Student Government Association assembled in Howell Hall Tuesday night and discussed dining hall improvements, a future cleanup of the Arboretum, and this week's runoff elections. But among these discussions were the efforts of the Rise Constitution, a new religious organization here on campus seeking approval from SGA. And after a long debate, student leaders came to a vote.
They were non-denominational. They weren't backed up by a church. We just didn't want things. We didn't want them to be taking people that are already plugged into a church. Basically, just we don't want clubs to be clashing. We don't want organizations to be clashing, and that's all it is. If they had more backing, if they had more supporters, then I think it would have been passed tonight.
Now, even though the Rise Constitution did not pass, its members now face the appeal process. And if you ask Deering and the rest of the SGA about the future of this organization, you'll find nothing but encouragement.
The SGA didn't have a problem at all with the backing and the intentions behind this resolution. I'm personally, I'm not trying to promote one faith or the other more, but I am a Christian. I'm not afraid to say that. With that being said, I think that Jesus should be reached to everybody. I do believe that this could be a great organization. It just didn't get passed with the SGA. And so if they believe that, they want to keep doing it and they want to go at it, then I encourage them to appeal it.
The BCM has Baptist Church to back them up, and the Wesley Foundation has the Methodist Church. I feel like if they just had a church to back them up and they came back and appealed it, then I think it would pass next time.
Ryan Renfro, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The SGA meets every Tuesday at 6:30 in the Hall of Honor.
An artist considered one of China's 10 major art masters has her work on display in Troy this week. Deborah Bogart gives us a look at her exhibit.
Troy University's Confucius Institute's latest guest is world-renowned artist Qin Bailan. Bailan has been featured in exhibits in more than 50 countries and in 2005 was named one of China's 10 major art masters.
Troy University has a long history, and also it has hosted artists like me from many different parts. So they have been committed to the communication between different cultures and the arts. So that is why I wanted to be here.
Bailan's art went on exhibition at the Johnson Center for the Arts March 1st, and on March 2nd, Bailan lectured on her art, Chinese history, and provided painting workshops showcasing her techniques and how she creates her artwork. Bailan encourages Troy University students to come out and see her portrayal of Chinese art.
I would say welcome them all to come to my exhibition, and also I encourage them to learn something about Chinese culture and Chinese painting because it's a very special kind.
If you look at Bailan's paintings, you might notice all of them have something in common. They feature a noble or prominent woman in Chinese culture, an effort that she hopes will inspire future generations of women.
My painting actually falls into a very special kind of Chinese painting that is called the noble lady's portrait. And that kind of painting usually uses noble ladies as the subject.
The exhibition will be moved to Troy University's Confucius Institute until Thursday afternoon for viewing. Deborah Bogart, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Bailan's exhibit will move to the Rosa Parks Museum in Montgomery this Friday. There will be an opening ceremony at 10 a.m. in the museum, and it's free and open to the public.
Jazz pianist Marcus Roberts was a guest speaker at yesterday's Helen Keller lecture, but it wasn't until last night that Roberts got to really share his musical talent with Troy. Latasha Sims has a story from his concert hall in Long Hall.
Jazz pianist Marcus Roberts shared his incredible talent with Troy University for the 21st annual Helen Keller Lecture, where he gave a brief concert and left people with many different feelings.
It's kind of scary seeing a guy who has come so far, even though he is, in old age, but seeing him never losing that drive and, continuously striving to get better at his instrument is really like a motivation for me as a player, because these things aren't easy at all. It takes years of practice, hours upon hours every day to get to just that level. So it's pretty reassuring and it's definitely motivating.
Marcus Roberts performed many songs at his concert, leaving the crowd speechless and also wanting more. Students who are musicians themselves saw his talent and was very inspired.
It's really good because that's ultimately one of those high-level achievement goals that a lot of musicians will have. We work a lot to sometimes work for our whole lives and never quite get to that level, but he's already there. It's something to work and aspire to be.
Robert's love of music began at a young age. By the age of 10, he began his formal musical training. Though all of his performances meant something to him, his last song was dedicated to his mother. Latasha Sims, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Roberts is an official Steinway artist and performed his concert in one of the Troy's newest pianos purchased through the All Steinway initiative last year. There are a variety of ways Troy students help fight hunger in the area, such as the Campus Kitchens program.
But twice a year, Troy students get to have a little fun with their food, and they collect and create their own castle construction. Casey Garvin explains.
You hear a lot about everyday superheroes. Usually the phrase refers to firefighters or police officers or doctors. Wednesday, however, the superheroes were the fraternity brothers and sorority sisters here at Troy. For Greek Week, participating organizations collected canned and packaged food to donate to those in need, building castles, forts, and superhero logos. Judges in superhero outfits picked out the best and the biggest sculptures, and as you can see,
the results are really stacking up.
Well, we have come together here at Greek Week, and we are providing meals or cans for the hungry. We're donating these cans to the Salvation Army, and the theme for this year is fighting hunger. And so we have built our hunger headquarters. We've built our walls up, and so that we can defend the hungry. And we have an emblem, and it's a shield with the H in the middle, just representing that we are just fighting this cause and trying to defend the hungry.
It's to help the backpack program that they have, like all the cans and all the lunch food items that we have, they put them in a backpack and send them to kids that don't have the right means to for them to survive over the weekend. This is our we did a triangle for Delta. We're actually the Delta chapter of Kappa Delta, so it kind of fits in good with us. But we put the Superman logo on it since the whole theme is superheroes, and we put a T in the middle for Troy. Our philanthropy is PCAA, so Prevent Child Abuse America, so this really hits home for us because we love to help kids in need, and so we just really think that this is something that we can help the kids of Pike County to be able to have a little bit better experience.
in total, the contest raised 4,635 cans to help feed the hungry. Casey Garvin, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The cans collected today will go to the Troy area food banks and Troy University's Backpacks for Kids program.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. State troopers with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency are investigating a wreck involving a Madison police officer and a pedestrian. The wreck happened early today at an intersection in North Madison.
Authorities say one man has been killed and another injured in a shooting just outside of Tuscumbia apartment. A Tuscumbia police spokesman says the two men were sitting in a car late yesterday when a man in a white truck pulled up, got out, and started shooting into the car.
A House committee has approved an education budget that would give most teachers a 4% pay raise. The House Ways and Means Committee on Wednesday gave a unanimous approval to the $6.3 billion spending plan for 2017. Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the baseball team was in action last night right here in Troy against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Ryan Renfro has more in sports.
Plus, reports reveal some new information about ovarian cancer.
New findings on ovarian cancer show big gaps in how the disease is prevented, detected, and treated. I'm Terry Okita in Los Angeles. The details just ahead.
Welcome back. I knew that Tuscumbia was going to mess.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry.
Maybe he can't hear us.
Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
The Trojan baseball team dropped its first game at home last night to the nationally ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. Jamal Kennedy has the story from Riddle Pace Field.
The ballpark was buzzing on Tuesday night as the Trojans entered with a 7-1 record on the season, and their opponent, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. A record-setting attendance made for an electrifying atmosphere as the two teams went head-to-head. The Trojans found themselves on the losing end of a 2-1 battle, but head coach Mark Smart was very pleased with the play of his team.
I was proud of our team. We had the lead late. I give them credit. They had a couple of really good pitches that Skinner threw with the game on the line, and manufactured 2 runs there in the seventh to take the 2-1 lead, and then their bullpen at the end was able to protect that lead.
Much like last week's matchup with UAB, Troy was locked into another pitcher's duel as Troy's Corey Gill took the hill against Alabama's southpaw John Keller. The Trojans struck first in the third inning on a single into right center by Trevor Davis, but that would be all Troy could manage. After the game, Coach Smart talked about whether the middle of his lineup may be pressing just a bit.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the big hit when we needed to. We couldn't cash in. We had a guy in scoring position in the 8th, and he made 3 great pitches to one of our better hitters and got him out of there. And then he cruised through the 9th. But we just got to find a way to. Somebody's got to get that big hit to take the monkey off the back, as it were.
Alabama got 2 runs to take the lead in the top of the 8th. One after this fielder's choice, and then 2 batters later, Alabama's Chance Vincent singled this pitch into right off of Mark Skinner to give the Tide all the runs they would need. Mark Skinner took the loss in relief for Troy, his first of the season. An attendance record of 3,243 in Riddle Pace Field was set in Tuesday night's contest. Jamal Kennedy, Troy TrojanVision Sports.
Tonight, Troy will head to Birmingham to play against the Blazers at 4 p.m. at Regents Field. The Trojans hosted UAB last Wednesday and won 2-1. Now let's head out to Kiowa Island, South Carolina, and shine the spotlight on the Troy women's golf team and junior Fatima Fernandez-Cano, who tied her own school record on Tuesday, shooting 6 under 210. And in the final round, Cano shot a 3 under 69, earning her portion of the individual title at the Kiowa Island Spring Classic. The Trojans as a team shot 11 over in the final round to finish in a tie for 8th place out of 41 teams. The highlights don't stop there, though. Cano also outshot William & Mary's Alessandra Louis by 5 shots, the number 52 ranked player in the country. Now, the Troy women's basketball team has won 5 out of its last 6 games and currently stands at an overall 15-12 record on the season. The Trojans took down Louisiana Monroe on Sunday, but now the focus has turned to the next opponent as Troy will hit the road to close out the regular season with the matchup against Texas State tomorrow night. And as the season comes to a close, assistant coach Neil Harrow says that flying out to Texas to end the season could be beneficial in the long run.
Yeah, I think it's good for us to end this regular season on a road trip because we're not playing at home for the tournament, so it's going to be good for us to get used to that towards the end, play 2 games in Texas and then go on to New Orleans for the tournament. So I think it's actually good for us to end on the road. If we can get those 2 wins, it'll be good to go into the conference tournament with a good rhythm on the road. So yeah, I think it's good for us.
Tomorrow night's game against Texas State will tip off at 5:30, and the Trojans will turn around on Saturday for the last game of the regular season against UT Arlington at 5 p.m.